Good afternoon, good people of the world. Before we start the show, I just want to say a special thank you to our amazing drink sponsor, Guayaki Yerba Mate. Seriously, I have been running on this stuff constantly all week long. I love it, makes me feel good, it's healthy, and it's yerba mate. And I like drinking it out of the gourd in the mornings and drinking out of their wonderful canned yerba mate drinks. Lemon elation today. You got berry something, right, Peyton? And
Blackberry mint.
I have the Enlightenment.
Ooh.
Oh.
Oh, man. Oh, buddy. Hey, real quick, before we get into it, I just want to say a big thank you to everybody at Shondaland, ABC. A special thank you to Paul Davies, the creator of For the People. Our show was not picked up for a third season. However, I am really grateful for these last 2 years. It's been an amazing ride. I've grown so much from the experience. Thank you, Tom Verica. Thank you, Paul Davies, again. Thank you, Betsy Beers, Shonda Rhimes, Mary Howard, all the producers, the writing team on For the People, amazing, amazing writers, the production team, the cast. Oh my goodness, you guys have made me so happy these last 2 years, and we've really grown as a family. I hope to work with you all again. The crew, you guys are masters at your craft. The editing, post-production, everybody there. Thank you so much from the bottom of my soul, core being. Thank you so much for everything. You guys have made these last 2 years very special to me. Onward and upward. This kind of thing happens in this business all the time, and I can't wait to tell you guys about my next job whenever I can. So, yeah. Hey, by the way, still keeping the name Prime Time, okay? You can't take that away from me, okay? All right. Michael, how you doing, baby?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, man. It's that yerba mate. Yeah. It's yerba mate, baby. Anything in the mail today?
We have a few questions.
Great.
So let's start it off. So the first one comes from you know what? It's an Instagram name, so I'm not even gonna try. Maybe.
Okay.
I don't know. But it goes, how important are political and social beliefs in a relationship?
Political and social beliefs. Interesting. Okay.
She said she was dating someone in the past.
Okay.
For this, and past tense for this reason. And they had a few differing beliefs. And at first it was going well. They'd have informative debates and agree to disagree. But it got to be too much, and she had to break things off. Was she in the wrong?
Oh. You know, that's a tough one. You know, because I want to know the details. We need to tell our listeners, hey, you got to get really detailed. Like, if you're going to say stuff like I want to know what his beliefs were, what yours were. I think if there are certain beliefs you have that are foundations of who you are, and maybe are the foundations of your political and religious beliefs and social beliefs, which I don't know what those are exactly, what those would constitute. Maybe like, hey, don't stab your friend in the throat. That's a social belief, I guess. I don't know. Maybe.
I think that's more like a, abortion.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Is that social? I mean, that could be religious.
It's social and religious as well, I think.
So if those two, you got to figure out what are the things you can't,
compromise on.
Exactly. And if you're in the beginning stages of dating somebody, I think having those out in the open, not on the first date, man, that would be so awkward. Like, so where do you stand on abortion? Okay, want to get appetizers? Like that doesn't work. Just make sure that's clear in the beginning. I don't know necessarily what you did wrong. I honestly don't think so, since it didn't work out. Then it didn't work out. Take this opportunity to grow. And what was cool about her message, which I liked, Michael, she said that at first they agreed to disagree.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that they left open some room to maybe widen their perspective a little bit. Because it's okay to widen your perspective and stay true to your beliefs while you're being respectful. So, yeah. I hope that helps. You can't pronounce her name, or she doesn't want to be...
Naomi? I think it's Naomi.
Naomi?
Naomi Flowers.
Okay, well, thanks for your question, Naomi Flowers. If you want to get more detailed for next week, let us know. Yep.
Next one comes from Grandiosa27. Do you have any advice before taking an exam? I get really anxious.
Yeah, this advice before the exam is literally months before the exam starts. Study. That's what you got to do. That's the only way not to be nervous as much before an exam. Study, study, study. Take practice tests. go in, meet with the professor afterwards. This is what I would do. Say, hey, this is the stuff I'm studying, and I'm hitting these points, these points, these points. If you were me, what else would you want to study? And if they're a cool professor, they'll be like, oh, yeah, I would really focus in on this, right?
Yep.
So I hope that helps. Grandiosa?
Grandiosa 27.
Grandiosa 27, thank you so much. All right, our guest this week is a For the People cast member. She plays a prosecutor on the show, Celia Chavez. That's her character name, of course. And you might know her from Fargo as well. And then upcoming on AMC show, the new AMC show, Michael.
Lodge
49? No, Lodge 4. Oh, gosh. Olivia, what is it?
You have it. It's Lodge 49.
Oh, it is Lodge 49. I knew it. Lodge 49. It's Olivia Sandoval. Thank you so much for coming on the show. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for her. So quiet.
I like this.
Everybody does.
Across the board.
Yeah. It's fun.
It's fun. It's genuinely fun.
It's a fun song.
And it helps me as the guest. It gets me right in the mood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, it's brilliant. Good job. Who chose that? Was that you?
I chose the song. My brother made it with his friend.
Yep.
Okay.
Talented family.
It's super talented.
No denying it.
None whatsoever. Thank you so much for coming on.
Oh my gosh, it's my pleasure. Thanks so much for having me.
It was a blast working with you on the show.
It was more than a blast. It was a treasure.
Yes, it was.
I treasure it. Always and forever.
It was so much fun.
Yeah.
You're dry.
I know.
Celia, was it Chavez?
Chavez, yeah.
Chavez.
She had no time for any of your bull, that's for sure.
No, and I had plenty of bull.
Oh, so much to offer, platefuls. No, it was so much fun, and I loved the dynamic that we had, because like you said, it's kind of this hot and cold thing that was just, it was so much fun.
I love watching that kind of stuff on TV.
Yeah. Me too.
But it's still great. You're working on a new show right now?
Yeah, I just got back from Atlanta. I was in Atlanta for about 6 weeks shooting a show called Lodge 49 for AMC, which is an amazing show. It's with Wyatt Russell, Sonia Cassidy, Paul Giamatti is a producer. There's really no other show like it on TV. It's this sort of modern fable. It's comedy. It's dramedy. It's a lot of. There's tons of characters. So many great character actors. Ernie. The guy who plays Ernie is just fantastic.
Has it already aired?
Brent Jennings. Yeah, the season 1 aired a little over a year ago, and we just shot season 2. So,
wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It was super fun.
I have no doubt you'll continue working forever.
That's the hope. That's definitely the hope. It's funny. I'm in this new phase of my career where, for so many years I wasn't booking anything, and I got very used to that anxiety. Right. I got very used to that. Oh yeah, I'm an actor who doesn't work. What else is new? And now that I've been so blessed the last couple of years to finally be working regularly, now it's this new phase of like, how am I going to keep this going?
What changed then? Because a lot of actors go through that. There's this dry spell that goes on for years and years and years. And then, you started working. So what was that tipping point, you think, for you?
Fargo. They just completely plucked me out of obscurity. And it was really, it's like you hear this story a lot, but it's really true. So I was at the point where I was about to give up. I mean, would I have actually given up? I don't know. But I was definitely at a tipping point where I was like, I don't know if I can do this anymore because I want to do something with my life.
Right.
I want to be active. I want to participate and give back to the community in whatever way I can. If it's not acting, it's not acting. And then this character came along that just I had such a strong instinct for and loved so much that I thought, you know what? For this audition, I'm going to go in and not worry about whether they like me, not worry about whether I'm right for the part, and just lay down a choice and be unapologetic about that choice. And I wish I would have figured that out years ago because it got me the part.
Dude, that's the hardest thing for actors to zone in on. Not care what anybody else thinks. Because it's a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
You don't want to care what anybody else thinks because you want to do you to the best of your ability. But at the same time, if you suck, don't do you. Don't do this version of you.
Yeah.
You got to be better. So for you, how was it different? Like, were you in class at the time? Were you just like pushing harder before the audition? Anything like that? Lifestyle changes that happened?
I think the big lifestyle change for me, and I've always taken class and I've always taken, my craft super seriously, but shift for me was working on myself and answering this question of, if I don't make it as an actor, am I still going to be happy? Like needing to find that baseline of happiness that's going to be there whether or not you are successful or you've made money or you've gotten your big break. So giving myself the freedom and space to heal, to address issues and past trauma and lift that up and be strong and secure in myself whether or not I had a job, you know, whether or not I was working retail or working on a TV show. That changed everything for me. Therapy is great. Go to therapy.
Yeah.
If you can afford it, go to therapy.
I have a lot of friends in therapy, actually. And that seems to help them, at the very least, understand, okay, you have a problem.
Yeah.
Either it's you or something that happened to you. And these are the steps you can take to try and fix it. I feel like those are the best things. I've never done therapy. I think at certain times in my life I should have.
Well,
but I think I found my own. I was lucky enough to find my own therapy.
It's important to find what works for you. And, you know, the word should have is, I think you could have.
Could have.
You could have.
I could have.
You know, but you are obviously seem like a very healthy person to me. And so you found, it's about balance. It's about whatever it is the key that pushes you to finding balance in your life. And for me, that was finding someone that I trusted and could talk to. And it opened up everything, and it made the kind of well that I had access to, my well of emotions, I could go deeper with choices because I wasn't so afraid of whatever I perceived to be lurking, you know? So that was huge.
Ooh, so you really got intimate with you.
Yeah, super intimate with me. Finally, after years of resistance, years of resisting me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a big problem with actors, a lot of artists, because that, like you said, can be scary, can be intimidating, can make you address problems that you maybe don't want to address, you're scared to address. And I mean, hopefully the end result would be of you changing in a positive way. That's also another thing I think a lot of actors fear is change.
Yeah.
Because, there's comfort in pattern, even if it's a bad pattern of the way you live your life.
Oh, yeah.
Habitual.
Habitual.
Right? I think it's ingrained in our DNA to like, okay, this pattern, we're surviving like this, so just stay like this.
Yeah, it's almost like baseball superstition. Don't change anything. Don't wash your socks, because, that might be the thing. Yeah.
Right, and it doesn't make any sense.
No,
if you've taken a few steps back, you're like, okay, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's totally illogical. But human beings, we don't function on a logical plane, I think 90% of the time.
Question then, were the negative things impacting you that you got over, were they because of bad habits you developed?
I think I definitely developed some not particularly helpful coping mechanisms, is how I would put it, to deal with trauma.
Yeah.
So things that I thought were helping, which was a lot of it was white knuckling. Like I all through school, I white knuckled it. I was like, I'm gonna be the best actor in the world. I'm gonna get straight A's or whatever. I'm gonna get my master's degree before I'm 25. And that's gonna make this darkness that I feel go away. And it turns out that it didn't. And so it was actually after I booked FARGO and I got back and my dream came true, right? The thing that I'd been chasing for so long, it happened. And then I got back and I was sitting in my apartment and I was like, I still feel sad. I thought this would take care of my sadness and it was still there. So I was like, all right, time to buckle down. Time to really buckle down and keep working at this. And I'd already been working at it, but that realization that success isn't going to heal your pain. That was an important one for me.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What positive, then, habits did you start developing to, better coping mechanisms?
Better coping, exercise. Exercise is super important for me. Yoga is very, very important for my personal well-being.
Yes.
It's super important. Communicating, expressing my needs, because I thought I was communicating for a long time, but I really wasn't. Really asking for what you need in your relationships and your relationships with your significant other, with your family, with your friends. Learning how to put myself first, learning the difference between being selfish in a bad way and being selfish in a good way. Self-care, essentially, realizing that I was worth,
Yeah.
good diet, good exercise, not drinking too much or anything like that, like putting positive things back into my system, my mental system, my physical system, instead of negative things that were holding me back. Yeah.
Same here.
Yeah.
Yoga helped me tremendously. Extreme physical exercise, like running up the trails that I do, that helps me tremendously.
And I admire that. I don't think I can do that.
I'm sure, I doubt it. You can do it. I promise you. It did not start me running up there. It started me barely walking up there.
Right. Because I know that trail because I've seen your Instagram stories.
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah.
I know that trail, and that's a beast just to walk.
It's pretty technical.
Yeah.
It's kind of annoying.
Yeah.
Actually, right now it's very annoying. Do you know there's this invasive species of plant in California called mustard seed?
Oh, I know it well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's totally enveloped the path. Like there's a good, I think half of the path now, you're like hitting brush and like I'm trying to like with my bow staff, I'm trying to like clear the brush a little bit. It's ridiculous.
Does it add to the kind of the warrior thing, a
Yeah,
little
it does.
bit? Yeah,
It does. It does. It is scary though because I can't see now because of the brush, and I still have that mental image of P-22, the puma that's in Griffith Park.
Oh, P-22. Whew.
Mr. Michael, can you pull up the Hollywood picture of P-22 because it looks like a staged photo, and it was caught by this photographer who had a wildlife camera. And when you see it, you're at first, for people who don't understand what a mountain lion is, it's a really big cat.
Is it this one?
Yeah.
No, that's when he had. That's when he was eating rat poison. Actually, for the longest time.
P-22.
Yeah, and he almost died from it.
No.
No, there's one where he's like walking on the trail, and you just see this beast of a lion.
It's a lion.
It's a lion.
It's a mountain lion.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so when I'm going through the brush.
Oh my God, look at that.
Oh yeah, that's one of the pictures. Oh, it's up there. That one. Yeah. I mean,
That guy is.
those are some forearms.
Those are. He was about to say he's yacked. He is strong. He. Is it a male or female?
Oh, that's a good question. I do not know. I do know. I just call it death. Death is non-binary.
Well, that is true. Death doesn't care.
Death is non-binary. I think that's the quote for the episode.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. No, I'm really glad that you found exercise and yoga to be so helpful, because that's what I found has worked for a lot of people I know who have suffered from depression or are in a really bad place. Whenever they get out there, they get the blood pumping, they get the blood moving, and they do something that's tough physically to do. Somehow that clears away the dead brush from your mind. You know what I mean? All that, at least some of that negativity goes out the window, so you can kind of see the picture a little clearer. Does that make sense?
It does completely. And being out of your body is such a common symptom of depression, feeling like you can't, you're just not in touch. You're out of your body. You're not in touch with your nervous system, your central nervous system and your muscular system. And, the brain is an organ in the body. It's all connected. And when I was in a bad place, I heard a lot of people, you should really try exercise. And that's like the most annoying thing to hear, when you're like, it's like, come on, man, I know, like, obviously I know. But it really is true. It really is true. And when I'm in a phase of not exercising, it's so easy to stay in that phase. You just have to, that conversation you have to have with yourself. Like, just remember, you have never once in your entire life regretted going to a yoga class.
Never.
You have never gone to a yoga class when you didn't feel like it and then later said, well, I feel exactly the same. And that didn't do anything. I've never done that once, but I've done many, 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 many times sitting in my apartment, staying immobile and regretting that. I regret that 100% of the time.
Oh, yeah.
So that's my little mantra. I'm just like, I tell myself if I'm not in the mood, like, just remember that you've never once regretted making time for yourself.
Same here. That's exactly how I feel about running up the mountain or going to the gym.
Yeah.
I've regretted it during it. I'm up there and I'm like, I just want to go home.
I just want to go home. It's cold. It's wet.
There's so many mosquitoes now. By the way, summertime, there's so many mosquitoes.
I know, yeah.
Sidebar, P-22 is male.
Is male.
P-22 is male.
Okay.
Why am I disappointed by that for some reason? I was really hoping to have a sister cat.
Well,
but no, it's okay.
Death is male, apparently.
Death is. Well. We don't want to gender the cat, though. We don't know how the cat identifies. To be fair.
To be super fair.
To be super fair. Research is lacking in that. area.
I'm definitely not going to go down that road. Anyway, are you your AMC job, is that
Yeah.
a continuous thing, recurring, or
I'm a recurring guest star. We're
Great.
hoping we have a lot of hope for this show for many seasons to come. So please, Lodge 49, watch the show. Tell your friends. August 12th we premiere.
Awesome.
Season 2. It's just like it's one of those jobs. I've been very, very lucky in my career. I have every job that I've done has been a joy. And this is another in a string of just joy. Just everyone is a pleasure to work with. We have so much fun. We're up till 3 a.m. shooting a scene and we're just, peeing ourselves laughing the whole time. And it's the greatest. It was the greatest experience. And Atlanta is fun.
awesome.
Atlanta's a fun place.
Well, it might not leave. We might not be able to film
that's
there
true.
for too long.
That's true. And all of this that has just been coming out in the last couple of days, I'm like, man, would I? Because you can't. That's some BS, man. That heartbeat bill, I gotta say, and I respect everybody's belief. These are very emotional, deeply personal, moral issues that we're talking about.
Yeah.
But women have to have basic human rights.
Absolutely.
Like, that's what it comes down for me. It's basic human rights that are being violated.
Absolutely. And at the same time, like I always try to see like both sides. So
Yeah.
like I know that side is thinking that people are killing babies, which of course, of course, anybody.
horrible,
Yeah, I get
thought.
your passion behind that, but
Yeah.
it's a lot more complicated, and it's not so simple. It's not so black and white as people are making it. Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen with that. I wouldn't be surprised because there's 2 huge studios in Atlanta. I think it's Perry. What is his name? Oh gosh,
I should know.
Tyler
this better.
Perry?
Tyler Perry's studios down there as well.
Huge facility.
Yeah, and then a lot of shows.
Well,
are filmed.
Cartoon Network and like Turner, I think they also do a lot of stuff out there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, didn't the Duplass brothers just pull out or say that they would pull out? So we've got some powerful people are saying that they won't shoot there anymore. So we'll see if that makes a difference.
I doubt it.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Because that's a pretty conservative state, if I'm not mistaken, right?
It's
Yeah.
more,
Politically?
it's more purple state at this point.
Oh, really?
Actually, it's very, very even.
Oh, okay.
The Democrat, Stacey Abrams, almost won, if not for voter suppression.
Yeah, that fun thing.
Voter suppression, and then gerrymandering was actually there was a case that they said, gerrymandering happened.
Yeah,
in,
I believe it.
Another county, not in Georgia, but somewhere else.
Ohio?
I think that was it.
Well, there are gerrymandering cases all across the country right now.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Well,
It's
that's
an
why
American tradition.
That's why we needed a show like For the People.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I guess not.
But wank wah.
No, I addressed it in the beginning of the episode. It happens.
Yeah, yeah.
It's part of the business moving forward. But that's one of the reasons why I loved working on For the People was because we were talking about issues and problems that were happening within.
Oh my God. Yeah, that episode, This Is America, was like one of the best episodes of television that I've seen in the last year.
I know.
I wept like
I know.
I
was amazing.
small
I get
child.
It. I was amazing.
Your scene with Miss Anna Devere Smith.
Everybody in that was just yeah. So where are you from originally?
L.A. Born and bred.
You are one of those few LA people.
Yeah, I stayed. I tried to leave. I went to New York for like a year, and I was like, it's cold, and I came back.
Yeah, it's too crowded there.
It is like, what's with the people?
Hey, man, too many people in one place.
Yeah, small place.
Don't like it.
Yeah, it's an amazing city, though. But I love visiting New York. I love spending time in New York, but I just don't think I could live there. I don't think I have it in me.
Yeah.
And true New Yorkers that have done that city thing, mad respect, props. Yeah.
I couldn't do it. I'll work there.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
Yep. I'll bite my tongue and work there. No, it's cool. It's just not for me.
It's not
just,
for you.
Yeah,
You
it's
know
not for me.
thyself.
I think if I was in my early 20s, I wouldn't have mind living there for a little bit. But
Oh, yeah.
now I kind of like my space.
Yeah, yeah. When I moved there, I was 18.
Okay,
I
yeah.
went to Tisch for a hot second before I went to Cal Arts to finish all my degrees, and boy, I just partied. That's all I did. I was just way too young. I was way too young for all that freedom. You don't have to drive.
Yeah.
That was back in the days where I maybe shouldn't be admitting this, but they didn't card you. Like it was
Yeah.
this like sweet spot, like in like 2006, 2007, before they got real strict, as they should.
Right.
Because I'll tell you, we were making poor life choices.
Oh.
We were making such poor life choices. And I, as a 19-year-old, I had this thought. I was like, you know what? I think I need need to remove myself from this environment. I don't think it's healthy for me.
I think that's dangerous for any kind of person under 25 to start using kind of alcohol or marijuana or anything. I'm not against those things entirely. It's just like your brain's not fully developing at that state. At 18, you're not fully developed in your brain.
Yeah.
At 22, you're not fully developed in your brain. So I think it's good to like ease into that stuff when you're like around 25. You're kind of more mature.
Yeah.
That kind of like impulsiveness is gone.
I know.
Dude,
Sometimes.
what?
I mean,
So, for the most part,
for some of us,
yes,
for,
I totally get what you're saying, Michael. Michael over here wants to like legal drinking age 16.
I mean,
No, I'm kidding.
no, I don't know about 16.
Michael's like, what?
I don't know
didn't
about
say
that. But yeah, no, that impulsiveness, unfortunately, that's the thing that, makes you. And 18 is a scary age in a lot of ways because, first of all, you're legally an adult. And then also, but you're not an adult. You're a child still, 100% a child walking through this world. But you think that you know everything.
Yeah.
I thought I knew everything. I was like, I've got this. Shut up, Mom. I'm moving to New York and I'm going to be fine there. And then
Yeah.
I get there and it's just like, oh.
When I was 21, I was like, I pay taxes now.
Yeah.
I'm an adult.
Yeah.
Nope. I was stupid.
Oh,
So stupid
the
at 21.
follies of youth, The follies. I love being in my 30s. 30s is where it's at. You're still young. You've still, got your energy, not as much as you used to, but enough to do fun things with your life. And you're not an idiot
Yeah.
as much.
Yeah, I think you're starting to not be an idiot. You know what it is?
Thank you. I feel like I'm starting to not be an idiot.
If you've lived like a pretty productive and a good life, I feel like it's getting your black belt in life.
Yes.
Because that's when the training really starts.
Yes.
Does that make sense at
It
all?
does. It
yeah,
does.
That's
Yeah.
what I feel like in my
like
30s as well.
All the horse crap that I went through my 20s,
Okay.
now is ammunition in my arsenal of good life choices. Do the opposite of what I did then.
Yeah.
Try it out.
Exactly. It's like, you don't have to have 6 beers, Wesam. Not that I've ever had 6 beers. I don't think I could have 6 beers. It's not a problem.
Cool sixer, it happens.
No,
Sixers happen. Oh, that's all I'm saying.
But you know what I mean? Like that kind of like the spinning drunk.
Oh,
I experienced that like 3 or 4 times in my life. And I think after the last time I was like, oh, this is stupid.
This feels bad.
This feels bad.
Yep.
I throw up and I don't feel good. Where's the fun in this anymore?
Yeah.
I'm not doing it ever again. Now,
Wise.
with that being said, we do have occasionally our Guys Night podcast on here.
Oh, okay.
And one of my buddies, he brings in homebrew beer. And we get a little...
That's cool.
We get a little wild. But we're not spinning. You know what I mean?
I
That
mean-
spinning feeling? We don't get that.
Homebrew.
It's good.
Got to make space for the...
Oh, he's so good at it.
Is he good at it?
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, man. I miss beer so much. I can't drink beer. I'm allergic to it. And there's a hole in my life without...
Is it the alcohol or the hops?
It's the hops. Gives me hives.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. Don't you feel bad for me?
I had hives for the first time during For the People.
Really?
I found out it was my multivitamin that I was taking.
Oh.
It had some, I can't pinpoint what it was in the multivitamin, but I would take too much of it.
Niacin?
Somebody mentioned that.
Yeah.
It might be that or one of the B vitamins in a certain form. Mm-hmm. And then one time I was like, man, I'm hot.
Yeah.
And then I looked at my hands and they were just red everywhere.
Yep.
And I was like, oh, cool, I'm dying. I'm dying right now.
I'm burning from the inside out.
I was freaking out.
It's scary. Yeah, I've had similar experiences, and
Yeah.
it is. You feel like you're dying.
Yeah, but it's hives.
It's just hives. It's very simple to get rid of.
Yeah, it's like basically blood going to the surface of your skin, right?
Yeah, I'll take
Michael?
I'll take your word for it.
Can we Google what hives are exactly? I think it was something like that.
Sure.
All I know is that sometimes I'll get hives that like join together.
Yeah.
Like there'll be several, and then they'll kind of
Cool.
they'll form. Like one time I had a state of California like across my chest. That was weird.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Outbreak of swollen,
that was
pale, red bumps or plaque on the skin that appear suddenly either as a result of the body's reaction to certain allergens or for unknown reasons.
Okay. But is it like actual blood vessels like expanding? No.
What causes?
This is quality
Anyway.
quality
Histamine.
hive content
In
here.
response to histamine, blood plasma leaks out of
Yeah.
small blood vessels in the skin.
Yes, that's it. That's what I thought.
Yeah, hives. There you go.
That sounded so much more scientific than how I explained it. Blood goes to the skin.
Blood happens, man.
Blood happens. That could be the quote for the show, too.
Yeah, blood happens.
Blood happens, baby.
Yeah, listen. It happens, man. No point in griping about it.
We're doing these new things for the show where we take like just quotes out of context completely. So people are like, what were they talking about?
That's a great.
Blood happens.
Blood happens.
Yeah. It happens for a lot of people. Mm-hmm. Oh, speaking of blood happens, this is a great segue. I'm so glad they're doing the no tax thing on diapers and female products
Finally.
in California. So blood happens, and so no taxes for that.
Finally.
Yeah. Was that a weird segue? It
No,
got weirdly weird. Okay,
no.
that was
it's
just
not.
me.
Hey, listen. I'm a part of the thinking that we have to make periods and menstruation cycles not weird anymore. Like, I feel like as a society, we need to get over that. Like, ew, it's, it's like, let's talk about it. Because
For sure.
It's real. Blood happens.
Yeah, that's fine for me. But like, the girl's on her period or somebody's on her period. That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like weird, but I don't necessarily like if I don't know you.
Uh-huh.
I don't want to go into like really details with it.
No,
you know what I mean?
No,
Is that fair?
That's totally fair. It's
Okay.
just like you wouldn't go to details about other bodily functions that happen. But it's more just like when I feel like that there's a ripple effect of assuming that things that happen with women's bodies are like put in this category of gross, you know?
it's not.
And then they do things like tax tampons because you can't understand that that would be like, is there a toilet paper tax? That's ridiculous.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you raised your hand, Michael. Sorry.
No.
Sorry. You're like, I disagree. No, I'm kidding. Whoa. What was I going to say? What were we talking about? The women's body. Oh, for instance, childbirth.
Yes.
For me, I get it. It's a total natural process. I think it's wonderful, beautiful in its own way. But I can't be. I don't. It like weirdly hurts me. I know that sounds weird, but like
You're having
imagining
an empathetic response.
Yeah, and so I don't.
Yeah.
Like I don't. Like, do that's awesome. Do your thing, but
Yeah.
I can't. I like physically like see how I'm squirming right now.
Yeah.
It's not because I think it's gross, because I feel the pain, almost like a pain.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah.
It hurts.
That's
I
okay.
haven't given birth,
Yeah.
but I hear that it hurts a lot.
Yeah.
So yeah, absolutely.
But I'm glad that there's no tax on that. No tax for diapers too, because I think so many struggling families out there. Every penny counts. You have a new person to take care of.
Oh my gosh.
And kids are expensive, so
Super expensive.
I'm glad that's happening.
Yeah, it makes me happy.
We gotta take a quick break.
Yep.
But when we come back, we're gonna talk a little bit more about acting, and then we're gonna do some current events.
Oh my gosh, I gotta look up some stuff on my phone really quick. Hold on.
Oh, current. No, you'll be fine. All right, guys, we'll be right back.
Okay, cool.
Well, we were just talking about P22 again.
Yeah, big fan.
Yeah, talking about how I would get so fucked up if he was like, I'm hungry today.
Yeah.
Michael mentioned that the guy who choked out a mountain lion recently,
I read about that. Is this the same guy that I'm thinking of, probably?
maybe it's in Colorado. He was running on a trail.
I saw. Oh.
It was a starving baby. So it only weighed like 30 pounds. Still, a 30-pound cat is nothing to. I mean, you're gonna get scratched and bit, but he had to put his foot on its throat and basically kill it that way.
Which
But it
I'm
was
sure
starving.
was horrible, you know?
Oh yeah, but
For all parties involved.
listen, for people now who have freaked out over this podcast or radio show over, mountain lions and that kind of stuff, mountain lions rarely, and I'm talking about super rarely, attack humans. They'll only attack
Yeah.
humans in two situations: if they're starving, or if that's about it.
Yeah. No,
Or if
it's.
they're a stupid kid who's starving, like a baby mountain lion.
Yeah.
They don't want to get in fights with other mountain lions or predators because they know they'll get injured, or if they get injured, they know they can't hunt and they'll die. So they kind of stay away from humans in general. You can be stalked by one, for sure, stalked, but very rarely are you going to be attacked by one. If you
Yeah.
do get attacked, or you see one, hold your ground, make a lot of noises, get as big as possible, or just go crazy but don't run. Whatever you do, do
Oh,
not
God.
run.
Oh, no.
It's like that instinct, with cats.
Yeah. And they're good at running. They're better at running than even you, my friend.
That's a fact.
That is a fact. That is a cold, hard fact.
You ever see a deer run uphill?
Yes.
Oh my God. I just look at it and I'm like, oh.
It's like they get up there in like 3 bounds.
Oh yeah. And I'm like, I'm so out of shape. I'm so out of shape. That thing went uphill like it was nothing.
Man, I'll never be as fit as a deer, man.
No, you won't.
I'll never be jacked like a deer.
Get that and getting kicked by horses probably be the worst thing.
Oh man, I had a great aunt who I never met who got kicked in the horse.
In the horse?
In the horse.
She got kicked in the horse. Is that code for something?
She got horsed in the head, man. Let me tell you, she got got kicked in the head. They, farm in Kentucky, and she was getting down with a bucket doing something on the ground, and the horse just kicked her, and she was never the same after that.
Your grandma got kicked in the head by a horse?
Her sister.
Oh, your grandma's sister.
Who I never met. She passed away before I was born. But yeah, she was never the same after that.
Your grandma's sister
Yeah.
got kicked in the head by a horse.
Yes.
That's the quote for the show.
We got a lot of quotes.
It's going to be great.
It's going to be fantastic.
Wonderful. I hope you're writing this down, Peyton. Let's do some current events. I feel like that'd be fun.
All right.
Let's see what we got.
Let's.
This is a new segment
Okay.
that we've been adding onto the show, which has been a big hit with people.
Great.
A lot of times, this world is getting crazy.
Fact.
Let's do this one first. The cross-Atlantic barrel voyage. Frenchman Jean-Jacques Savin completes journey across the Atlantic Ocean in a barrel after 122 days in open seas. He survived on freeze-dried food and fresh fish.
What?
I'm blood red mad right now.
Oh my gosh. Passionate.
So annoyed.
Because you wanted to do it first?
No! So pointless.
Thank you.
Guy?
I agree. I have to say that I think the same thing, and I respect people who go for things in general, but I think the same thing. I watch these documentaries like Into Thin Air and stuff about people climbing up mountains, and it's like horrible, and they die, and their friends die, and I'm just like, why? Why? What is this drive that it's just serious question, real talk. What is this drive that people have to accomplish the impossible?
That like impossible in quotation marks with like career stuff or like building a business or making a community better, I'm all for.
Yeah.
But this guy, if my friend said, "Hey, I'm going to go in a barrel."
It was a barrel, like an old barrel.
Like a barrel, yeah. Let me see if I can.
Like an oldie-timey, like it's full of meat or something kind of barrel?
Dude, go pay taxes. What's his name?
Jean-Jacques Savin.
Of course it is. Jean-Jacques Savin.
That's a good
It's not
name.
even like an old-fashioned barrel. It's just like, this is the barrel.
Oh, so it's like a rigged out barrel. Oh, that's like a tiny house.
That's not impressive.
That's like some guy in Portland.
Why? Why does he do that? That drives, like, go help people. What do you do? Like, what is he do it for?
Well, was he raising money for something maybe? Because sometimes that's what people do. They do crazy things and they, take, for a charity. For some reason, I don't feel like this is that case.
It's inspired by the trip taken by a French doctor who crossed the Atlantic alone in an inflatable boat in 1952.
Inspired by another person who did something pointless. Great.
Dude, I want him on this show, and I want to cancel on him.
Also, by the way.
Yes.
He also took foie gras.
Foie gras?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a bottle of white wine for New Year's Eve.
Oh my God, you French
as well as
person.
a bottle of red Saint Emilion to celebrate his 72nd birthday. Another bottle of wine, a Bordeaux, will be compared with one of the same kind kept on land to assess the effects of months spent at sea on the beverage.
So hold on. I'm sorry. I missed the first part of that. What was the point of all these wine? Is he drank them on the trip?
Drinking them on the trip, basically, for celebrations. For his birthday and for New Year's. And then the other one is to see the effects.
Hey, Jean-Jacques, how about this for your next thing? Go out to the middle of the ocean again and just stay there.
Oh no,
For as
Jean-Jacques.
long as you can.
And he will be studied with regard to the effects of solitude in close confinement. The voyage has a budget of 68,000 euros.
Shut the fuck
And
up.
is being partly financed by the cooperage company Boats
Oh, I just got so much angrier.
and crowdfunding. Boots, Boutes.
People crowdfunded it.
Apparently, it's also crowdfunded. Yeah.
Find everybody who crowdfunded them, and then kick them out of the country.
I mean, if you want to, get research or information, data on solitude, go to any prison
Right?
in the world. You don't need to put yourself in a little tube for however
Dude.
long it took him.
Oh man, this
Anyway.
this stuff riles me up.
I can
Olivia.
tell. No, I can tell. I appreciate your passion.
So for the next current event, do we want to do that entertainment news that we talked about earlier, or are we doing like a separate thing for that one? You know what I'm talking about. The specific
Oh,
instance.
oh no,
No, we're not.
no, I didn't.
now
do
I
the
want to
research.
know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I did.
No. I'm not talking about that other one. I'm talking about the TV show.
Oh no, not gonna bring that up on the show yet.
All right.
Yeah, because I might want to continue working in this industry.
Got it.
Yep.
Let's see.
And if you don't understand listening to the show, then you don't understand. Got to play the game.
Don't we all? Don't we all?
Yeah. What's that? What's the next one?
I'm looking for something good.
Oh.
So talk amongst yourselves.
Oh, I thought
Okay.
we had. All right. No worries. Olivia,
Yeah.
real quick.
Yeah.
So whenever this is actually going back to acting, which I'm actually pretty curious about. You were born and raised here in LA. You went to New York for acting school as well, right? Mm-hmm. What caused you to come back to LA though?
Well, it was really the school. When I was in high school, it was between CalArts and Tisch for my training. And once I realized Tisch wasn't working out for me, I wanted to reapply to CalArts. I just thought, okay, that instinct was good. And so I came back, and it wasn't that I was trying to come back to LA. I was trying to go to CalArts. And then once I was at CalArts, I fell in love with LA all over again. I didn't like it very much growing up. I struggled with the superficiality and the constant pressure to look a certain way, especially with the kind of circles I was running in like private schools in LA and like, all of that mishigas. So
Right.
I really wanted to go be free. And I found that freedom actually closer to home, and then I saw LA for like all its warts and I fell in love with it. And now I'm completely an LA person for life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am very thankful for LA for a few things.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, for its accessibility, and there's so much entertainment industry out here
Yeah.
and opportunity,
Oh,
I should say.
yeah.
So the opportunity is here. It's literally everywhere you go.
Mm-hmm.
It's an entertainment city, I feel like. Second, this is might sound like a silly thing at first, but it's actually one of the biggest blessings I have in this lifetime. Any kind of food I want,
Yeah.
within 30 minutes,
Yeah.
will be in my stomach.
Dude, when I'm not in LA and I have to deal with like, what do you mean I can't get like Thai food and a pack of nails at 3 a.m. delivered to my house? How am I supposed to live?
Exactly.
How do you guys stand this? Yeah, it's incredible. I lived, for my last year at CalArts, I lived in Thai Town, and that was one of the best years of my life. Just food consumption alone. Jeet Lada, oh my God. Have you been to Jeet Lada?
No, I have not.
Do you like Thai food? Are you Thai
Yeah,
food?
I'm big. I love Thai food.
Go to Jeet Lada.
Where's that at?
It is in East Hollywood. It's very, very famous. So
You're going to make me get out of the valley?
I'm
to
going to
go to
make
this
you
place?
leave the valley to go to
It
to go.
better
to
be good.
It'll be great. It's the spiciest food I've ever had in my life.
Great, I love spicy.
So you pick on a scale from 1 to 5. I usually say if you're a spicy food person, start with 3.
Great.
My husband ate a fish kidney curry there.
Okay.
That is not on the menu anymore, but he heard that this is what the dope people order. This is what like the people who work in the kitchen, this is what they eat for lunch. So we had a sister in town, and he he wanted to impress her. And so he's like, "Hey man, you still got that fish kidney curry on the menu? I'll take it at a 5 if you've got it." And they looked at him like, "White boy, what are you doing right now?"
my gosh.
And they kind of said, "Okay, all right, okay." And so we went back, and I like looked in the kitchen. I saw them like snickering back there. And I knew it was bad when they brought out before just a big bowl of ice full of sliced vegetables. Like, you're going to need this. And they brought that fish kidney curry out, and he took one bite, and I just saw the look on his face of just like extreme fear and panic of like, somehow I have to get through this curry and impress my sister.
Isn't that the worst?
And he was, and they kept coming back like, "Are you okay?" And he was like, "It's great. I love it. I love this. I love it so much." He's got like snot. He's like crying blood.
Oh my gosh.
It was just,
That's the worst. Did
So-
you have did you taste any of it?
I did. It just tasted like pain, to be perfectly
yeah.
honest. I couldn't taste after one bite. I couldn't feel my face. So the flavor, I'm sure, was great if you have the tolerance for that. But yeah.
Here's the thing. That kind of spicy is going to come out the other end.
It has to go somewhere.
Exactly. And
If it doesn't burn out your colon entirely.
you're going to throw it up and it's going to hurt even worse.
Ooh.
Imagine that in your sinuses.
Yeah.
That to me is not enjoyable. I know
No.
some people's pain tolerance is much higher. Like, for instance, my dad actually, this is actually a fun fact about my dad. Before his accident, he would eat chili peppers. Like Thai chili peppers. Snacks. I'm like, do you have any nerve sensors at all in your stomach or in your mouth? He's like,
Those are
"It's hot."
intense.
Very intense. I used
Yeah.
to grow them. I would
Oh,
put
wow.
one in like a big soup dish and it would be like, geez, this is enough hot for me. I'm good. And I love spicy, but his tolerance for it was incredible.
Yeah.
We had the spicy challenge here on the show
Oh, you did?
with my buddies,
Oh, man.
and you're gonna laugh so hard.
Oh, I'm so excited.
They messed up on our order because they gave us 10 bottles. They gave us 2 of the number 10, the hottest spicy. And that was like at a 10 and an 8, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
Yeah.
So instead of an 8, they gave us another 10. But it was marked
I
as
thought it
an
was a
8.
5.
I thought it was something like a lot lower.
Yeah, it was a 5. It was
Oh,
something
wow.
lower.
So
It was a
you
5.
had no idea what was coming.
Yeah, so actually Isaiah had no idea because I'm like, oh, you got a 5. And I had tasted a 7 and an 8, and so had he. And he takes one thing of it, and me and Jonte are talking. He goes, "Whoa, oh man, 5 is so much hotter. You guys should try 5. It's really hot." And we're like, "Yeah, whatever." And he's like, "Guys, no, it's really hot." And then I was like, "What is he like? Is he exaggerating for the show?"
Yeah, it's like, okay, drama queen,
I
calm
have
down.
I have an article now.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Whenever you're ready.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Cool.
I
Good
want
to
to
know.
hear the spicy story.
Yeah. So I grab the bottle. Like, what is he talking about? I'm like, wait a minute. Did I mess up on the lids? And I look at the 10 and I'm like, oh my God. And I realize they gave us 2 number 10s. And I showed him. And then he's just like, what the fuck? What the fuck? That I tasted the 10 afterwards, guys. Not fun.
Yeah. It becomes like, Pain Olympics at a certain point.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's just.
Do you remember that video on
Yeah,
the internet? The
I
Pain
do.
Olympics?
I do. Yeah. I know. I'm from that generation. Wow. Yeah. Well, actually, my husband and I were just talking about this the other day. It came up in conversation, and he reminded me that it exists, and I had a flash, and I was like,
Oh my God. Do you guys know what the Pain Olympics are?
it's not recommended.
Yeah, I'm not
Don't-
gonna-
Don't
listen.
Don't
Well,
don't
yes,
don't
I am
don't
now.
do not.
E-Bombs World.
Just don't. Just don't.
The
I'm gonna put in my
one
history
of
right
the
now.
most make sure you're on private browsing, okay? Because you
Yeah.
don't want that on your search history to accidentally come up again. Anyway, do not look up Pain Olympics.
Don't.
It's very, very disturbing video.
Yeah, it was like I think I saw it at a party when a bunch of people were daring oh, I've got a better internet. Oh, I've got a crazier one. Oh, I've got a crazier one. And it kind of capped out with that, and then I kind of
Yeah.
felt like crying. And
That's-
I was
that's-
like, this isn't fun
No,
anymore.
that's the worst video I've
I
ever
want to go
seen.
home now. I think I actually want to go home, to my mom's house home now. Home.
It goes the ISIS execution videos, that Pain Olympics, and then the 2 girls 1 cup is like a little lower down there.
2 Girls, 1 Cup honestly was nothing after Pain Olympics. I was like, whatever.
I thought you were gonna go. I don't see the big deal.
I don't
with
see the big deal.
With 2
No.
girls 1 cup. That was okay.
Anyway, this is derailed.
What do we got, Michael?
So, apparently, to fight K-pop's influence in China, boys are trained to be alpha males.
To fight K-pop's influence in China, boys are trained.
To be alpha males. So I'm guessing they think that guys in K-pop groups aren't, or like J-pop, they're not.
It's
Alpha?
K-pop specifically, but it's
K-pop,
like,
okay.
yeah, it's so like they take them into a park to be gather in a Beijing park to be transformed into alpha males.
Oh, that's horrible.
The youngest is 7, prepared to strip to their waist for a run. One of the watching mothers is worried. She wants her son to grow into a macho male, but it's so cold. She tells him he can keep his shirt on or perhaps skip the run through Olympic Forest Park. This is the kind of feminine parenting that coach Tang Haiyan fears can ruin boys.
That's terrible. That's toxic masculinity at its worst. And K-pop's incredible. I think K-pop should take over all pop. I think BTS is, am I right about that? That's a big,
Yes.
that's a big band, right?
Oh yeah.
They get groovy, man. They get down. I dig it. They're all super cute.
What is China doing? Training Spartan kids all of a sudden? Like,
So yeah,
that's so stupid.
It goes like influenced by K-pop idols in Korea, China's boy bands and celebrities with their delicate beauty, dyed hair, and hot couture wardrobes had a massive following among women here. But China's state-run media condemns the young idols, calling them sissy pants and fresh young meat.
Just good old-fashioned homophobia. Fresh young meat.
Yep.
Well, that says more about you, I think, than it, not you,
No.
but whoever said that. It's like if you're looking at that and you're thinking, ooh, fresh young meat. I'm
Yeah,
like,
that's
okay,
kinda-
just be free, be yourself.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a big fan of the music or the style, but it's not like I'm like down with BTS. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's so stupid to me.
My friend Max Vernon, who is a musical theater artist, writer, composer, librettist, he did an interactive musical on off Broadway recently about K-pop. That's all about that.
Oh.
And he dresses like a absolute fantastical. Like his whole life is theater, and I think he's making the world richer for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do him as long as he's not hurting anybody, creating a positive influence.
Yeah.
That's the thing I don't get. You know, people's like religious and political views, they start demeaning and like taking like positions where they're destroying someone else's livelihood
Yeah.
just because, no, I don't like that. Well, okay.
Yeah.
Guess what? I don't like certain jokes or certain TV shows. I'm not
Change
wanting
the
them.
channel.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not wanting them to be canceled or that person never to do comedy again.
Oh yeah.
That's just stupid.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's something I have a big problem with, like censorship in general.
Sure. It's dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's just a slippery slope. Then you start censoring people like just purely for this, just because they have a different belief from you, and I'm not a big fan of it. I don't know how to change it though. I don't know what's going to happen in this world in the next decade. Like,
I know, it's tricky times. It's really tricky times. We're so for being so evolved, we're not very evolved. It's like,
some of us, that's for sure.
how are we going to move forward?
It amazes me though. For instance, that church in Kansas was
Westboro
Westboro
Baptist.
Baptist
Yeah, are they
Church.
still a thing, or did they
They've lost a lot of power and influence. The main guy, he passed away, or he's
passed away,
He's
yeah,
passed
yeah.
away. Yeah. So he was losing him. I think they lost a lot because a lot
Fred
of
Phelps, that
Fred
was him.
Phelps. Yeah, they lost a lot of the younger generations too because like the younger kids that were like born into it are like come,
Well, yeah, even like Phelps' own granddaughter. Like,
Yeah.
is, like
yeah, they come of a certain age and they're like, wait a second, why though? Like, why are we doing this? And so they're having a hard time keeping it going from right
Right.
here.
Man, I hope within the coming years more people get illuminated and are more understanding. One of the best things, and kind of towards the wrap up of this show, I've been reading a lot of stuff lately, and from my personal life experience, the most positive result and something that's echoed through every single religion, every single faith, is that golden rule of, do unto others as you would want done unto you. Be nice to people, be caring,
Yeah.
be empathetic.
That's it.
That can literally change the world. It can change your life immediately. Mm-hmm. You go get a coffee, maybe the barista's having a bad day, but if you continue to be nice to them,
So important to be kind.
you
It's
don't
so
lose anything
important.
with that, right?
No.
They didn't smile or they didn't get your order right. Oh, your ego was bruised. Oh, okay.
It's a pretty fragile ego if that's all it takes, you know?
We're in LA.
Yeah, it's absolutely true.
But that saying of like you don't lose any bit of your flame if you just light somebody else's candle.
Yeah, that's great. I love that. I live my life by this experience that I had when I was in high school, and my friend John Glusevich, we were sitting in like the lunchroom, and there was some other, and I talked to him about this recently. He doesn't even remember this ever happened, which is funny because I think about it all the time. These like, jocks were like throwing some popcorn or something on this kid and like bullying him, and John and I were having a conversation. He just goes, "Hold on one second. Hey, it's not that hard to not be a dick." And I was like, man, that's so wise. It's not that hard to not be a dick.
No, it really isn't.
Which is a really like crass way of, it's the golden rule essentially. But it's even less commitment than the golden rule, because it's like all you have to do is not be a dick. If you don't feel like actively being kind to someone, okay, you probably should. But all you have to do is not actively be cruel.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah.
You literally lose nothing. At the end of the day, when you're home, you're like, all right, today wasn't so bad.
Today, yeah.
All right, great. I got my health.
Yeah.
I got, there's a roof over my head.
Yeah.
I have some money at least.
Yeah.
Things are going to be okay.
Things are going to be okay. I'm super grateful for all of the years that I worked in retail. I'm so grateful for those years because they really reinforced that it's not that hard to not be a dick.
I feel like everyone should have like a job in the service industry at least once in their life.
Thank
Yes.
you. Like mandatory military service, but it's mandatory service.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Mandatory service job.
Yeah, my husband was a barista. I worked in retail. We did that for a long time, and I hope we never forget the lessons.
I worked as a pharmacy tech, retail pharmacy. That was fun.
Yeah.
People coming to you, why can't I get my OxyContin?
You're like, well,
Do you have a prescription?
no.
Okay.
I mean, what if I took a piece of paper and I wrote,
This says
I would like this, please.
This says oxydone.
Worked as a server for a long time. Parents owned a restaurant for a long time. And every time I go somewhere and eat, I don't care if I have to wait however long. If I see the place is busy and our waiter's running around,
Yeah.
I get it.
Dude.
It astounds me the number of people I see who think literally they're the only one in the restaurant. We've been waiting 15 minutes.
Looking around like they're king and queen of the world, And I mean, no, that's one of my big litmus tests. Like if I have a new friend or like someone I haven't, when I go out to eat with them, if they're rude to staff, there's no future.
Yeah.
Can't do it.
That's a good rule.
Yeah.
I think. I like that.
Yeah. And what I can't stand is when people are being given their food on time and they just don't, they're like, the food puts down and they don't say thank you and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's like, come on, they just went and cooked your meal for you. At least look up, make eye contact and say thanks.
Yeah.
And tip 20%, for God's sakes. If not 25.
So, hey, if you're listening to this, here's why you tip 20%. First of all, it's rarely the waiter's fault. I'm being dead serious. You might not have the best service. Also, they have to tip out the busser. They have to tip out the host. They have to tip out the bartender sometimes. So that 20% is actually 15. And then you take taxes out, and that becomes 10. So that's why you tip 20%, person. That's why. And if you don't want to or you can't afford to, guess what? Don't go out to eat.
Simple.
Because you're harming somebody else's income.
Simple as.
And if you want to argue with me, I'll come on the show. I'll go crazy. I'll put everybody who wants to argue with me in a barrel with Jean-Jacques, and we'll push you out into the Pacific Ocean. Woo!
Jean-Jacques.
Though there's somebody I actually want to have on the show, and his Instagram account infuriates me.
Oh, wow.
He does this modern art stuff that... Do you see what I'm doing with my fingers?
I see that.
Because I'll have to follow him. He does things where he'll put a bunch of crackers on the wall and he'll hold them with his forehead, and then it's like a modern art performance, and he'll just crush them all.
Is that the guy with the dried pasta who makes all those pasta machines?
Maybe.
He does I watch a lot of ASMR on Instagram,
Okay.
and he's popped up because of the satisfying sound of crunching a bunch of dry pasta. I don't know. I kind of dig the guy. I kind of dig him. I think I've lost a friend. I dig him. I dig the guy. If it's the same guy.
Olivia.
I know.
We were having such a great time on the show.
Well, I didn't want to leave without ruining something, so I did.
I'm concerned if he does want to come on my show. How am I going to talk with him? That's the thing. Like I have to put my emotions like way in like a lockbox and be like, okay, what's the point?
Yeah. And
What
then
like come on, like
he's
I can do that.
Well, my best friend Jean-Jacques, we had a conversation about.
And we're done. Shortest episode ever. How are we on time?
We got like 3 minutes.
3 minutes. Before we leave, what's the best piece of advice you think you've ever learned actually in your entire lifetime? And what could you share with people going through a tough time, struggles? That's how I like to end things now. I want to know people's best piece of advice they've learned.
Every human being, every person who is alive on this planet is worth everything. You know, that you're worth it. You're not worth less than anybody else because your life looks different, because you feel pain. I know that sounds kind of simple, but just you are worth it is the most important thing that I learned. And it took me so long to learn that I was worth caring for from myself.
I love that.
Care for yourself before, and if you care for yourself, you will be a better and more caring person to the people that you love in your life.
I love it. Thank you, Olivia.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I appreciate you coming on the show. And if people want to find you on Instagram or Twitter.
Yep, Livy Sandy on Instagram and Just Sando here on Twitter.
Awesome. I love it.
All right, play it out.
Yep. Thanks, Michael. Hey, everybody. Thanks for tuning into the show. Thank you, Adobe Radio. Thank you, Nice Guy Digital. Thank you, Olivia.
Very welcome.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Peyton. Thank you, Steph. Thank you to all our listeners. Thank you for the listener questions today. Remember, every week, we check our mail. We want to hear from you. Ask me any questions on life, relationships, Bigfoot, ghosts, pumas. I'm here to answer them.
The Vatican Archive.
Yes. If you have any secrets of that, let me know. I want to know what's in there. That's my goal. We get big enough where they let me take a tour through the Vatican Archive. Ladies and gentlemen, always remember to listen, think, and then talk.